Hey, what's up, everyone? I hope you guys are doing well. I'm back with Mir. I think I'm fully rested now, and we're gonna start breaking down the footage from the Capcom showcase.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't quite the highest level of gameplay, but at least we got to see some new stuff for these two characters that we had, previously some information about, but not all that much after all.
And guys, we're just gonna be breaking down Kimberly for this video, just so you know our videos don't end up being 40 minutes long. So don't worry, Jury fans, we'll break down Jury next in our next video. So starting off with Kimberly and Mir, I got a bunch of clip notes to read off here. So the first thing is we know more about Kimberly's spray can stock system. So it looks like when you start off the match, you start off with 2 spray paint can stocks. You don't have to get them during the round. You begin with 2.
Yeah, and this seems to be the maximum amount. In a way, it's very similar to how Ibuki does it in Street Fighter V, where she starts with maximum amount of kunais.
Another interesting thing, Mir, is it seems like the cans do carry over between rounds. So if she has 1 or 0 cans by the end of the round, she'll start the next round with 1 or 0 cans. So it's not like Jamie with the drinks.
That's quite unique because, again, going back to Ibuki does restock her kunais in between rounds. So that's almost as if it's an entire new meter.
And just a fresh reminder, guys, if you don't know what the spray can stocks are for Kimberly, for now it's just 2 moves. 1, it enhances her level 1 super, so it does more damage and finish her. And 2, she can place down the spray paint can as like a bomb. It's like a spray paint, like shuriken bomb that she can mix up the opponents with. Next up, we got a good look on Kimberly's movement speed, Mirror. We see her walking back and forth at the starting.
It seems like her backwards movement speed is quite different from her forwards movement speed. Like there's a big dissonance between the two. The backwards walk speed is kind of slow actually, compared to other characters that we've seen so far. While the forwards one is pretty fast. I would say at least on par with characters like Ryu and Luke, and maybe a little bit faster.
All the characters so far in general look like they have decent speed though, but we haven't seen any grapplers yet. Next up, let's talk about Kimberly's jumps too. We got a better look at it. It looks like the jumps aren't as floaty as we thought they might be because she's similar to Guy.
Right, they are actually quite normal looking, I would say. They seem very similar to what Jury has as well on the footage. To me, they look a little bit short horizontally, but I'm not quite sure. It could just be that that's the average range of jumps in Street Fighter 6.
Okay, let's start talking about the attacks now. So Kimberly's standing light kick, man, it just seems like there's no stubby normals in this game here. Kimberly's standing light kick has decent range and it's cancelable as well. So we got a lot of more info, or I guess questions, on her horizontal attack, and once again that's her chop special move. And right now I think it's safe to assume here that this kick follow-up she does afterwards is canned from the heavy version. I'm assuming if you do the motion with the heavy punch, she'll automatically do the kick at the end, but I still don't know 100%. Keep in mind, guys, that both players, the director and producer, were playing on modern controls.
Right, it's difficult to tell because even across the different versions of the move, they seem to have very, very similar speeds. And we see the light version land a couple of times, and it doesn't seem to have the follow-up. So yeah, I would think that it's a canned follow-up to the heavy, just like you were saying.
Yeah, whenever we see him use it on block, we never see the kick follow-up on block. And I don't know if they're doing the heavy version or the light version because they're canceling standing light kick into the horizontal and the kick follow-up's not coming up, and I'm assuming that's the light version. So maybe the canned kick follow-up can't come out on block mirror. Maybe it's kind of like they did that on purpose, so it's not like, I don't know, like Mortal Kombat where you could frame trap and mix up the opponent because you don't know what the follow-up's going to be. It's always going to be the non-kick version if the opponent blocks it.
Right, especially since the versions look so similar to each other because the speed is comparable, right? So it'd be very difficult to tell which one you block.
Yeah, and you saw the OD version, right? A few times? Because when you hit the opponent with it, it launches them up. So you get a free juggle. Probably just a plain Tatsu. I think they even juggle into another horizontal as well. I wonder if she can jump and combo to the command grab, but they're pretty low in the air, so I'm not sure if you have enough time.
It doesn't seem to be jump cancelable based on what they've shown us. We haven't seen it being jump canceled at least, so
right.
You might not have enough time.
Yeah, but this seems be one of Kimberly's core moves that she's going to be going into. Now we see Kimberly's jumping heavy kick as well. It kind of looks like a drill kick.
Yeah, she spins in the air. It's very reminiscent of how Fox jumping heavy kick looks in Street Fighter V, although it's probably not cancelable like Fox is.
Right, and it's like a little bit more vertical or a diagonal kind of angle, it seems. It's interesting too, Mir. I think this is she's got her standing heavy kick. It kind of looks like young Zeku's like kick, where she's like air. She does like a double kick in the air.
Looking at it again, it reminds me a little bit of one of Elena's moves. Yeah, she does this like airborne flip kick that might avoid lows based on how it looks. So it could be another tool that she can use in pressure or when approaching the opponent. And it is plus enough to combo afterwards.
Oh man, yeah, she like literally combos into standing medium punch, heavy punch, target combo. I wonder if this will be more plus 2, Mir, if the opponent blocks this crouching, just like young Zeku, you know?
Yeah, just like young Zeku. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, but this button looks really good. Like, as a meaty, looks really good. Moving on, we got some more info on her hidden variable. This is the move where you see the puff of spray paint and Kimberly teleports forward. And we saw an air follow-up version. Now, if you look really closely, Mir, she's actually flashing yellow. So we know the air follow-up seems to be the OD version. And it's a different color spray paint as well when she teleports.
Right. The spray paint is green because it's normally blue. Plus the yellow of the OD that gives you green, so there's the knot there. But yeah, this version is basically a descending attack from the sky, kind of like a jumping attack, and she is able to do jumping attacks, in fact, from this. So since jumping attacks have, put a bit of hit stun if they hit you, maybe this would be good for avoiding attacks and getting a combo going with some extra damage.
Yeah, this looks strong, man. This could be... We're entering the territory of like some Unga moves here when I'm looking at this. If she gets that frame advantage of a jumping attack, that'd be quite strong. I mean, you do have to use meter for it. Another thing too is I noticed Kimberly was getting swept sometimes when she was doing the normal hidden variable. So I don't know if this thing really has that much invincibility at all. I also saw that there was one instance where Jerry did a throw, and it seemed like Kimberly did the hidden variable right as she threw, and maybe there's some throw invincibility, or at least it'd be good as a shimmy at the very least.
Yeah, I don't think it will have any strike invulnerability. That seems a little bit too powerful. Most of the evasion will come from the movement, but even then it has to be timed correctly because she can be hit both on the way back and on the way in. So you really need to basically whiff punish something. It's most probably used against projectiles, as we saw in the trailer originally.
And once again, guys, even though you see the spray paint being used, she doesn't need to use a spray paint can stock for this. She can do this move as many times as she wants. Another thing too, Mir, on the PlayStation blog, they explained Kimberly's level 1 super. We didn't see it from the trailer. So what's interesting is the blog shows that if you happen to have a spray paint can stock, she'll actually use it at the end of the super, and you'll get some bonus damage. And you literally see her throwing the spray paint can as a bomb at the end of the super.
I think she will get a better knockdown advantage as well because the opponent is juggled in the air for longer, and Kimberly seems to have time to recover. We see it in the footage both with and without the spray paint can ender.
When I first saw this, I didn't think the damage was that significant, but I was just looking at literally the hit of the spray paint can. But if you look at both supers side by side, she does a lot more damage when she has the spray paint can at level 1. And like you said, possible Oki as well. Another thing too, Mir, if you look closely at the footage, she combos into it from standing heavy punch, but the standing heavy punch just so happens to be a punish counter, and you can see Jury spinning slowly. So we know that Kimberly's standing heavy punch has the potential to be like a crush counter state, if you will, on punish counter.
I'd wished pin state crush counters to never come back, but I guess,
I guess
they're here to haunt me.
They are here forever. There was a huge lack of combos in this showcase, Mir. A lot of auto combo stuff, but one of the combos we saw was the standing medium punch, heavy punch target combo into run slide. I'm sure we could have guessed that this works, but at least we got to see something.
Right. It's interesting because standing medium punch, heavy punch in this game knocks down. So we had no guarantee that it would combo into the slide, but it seems to pick up as a juggle.
I know, Mir, you and me like to go through the nerdy breakdown of all the gameplay and moves and stuff, but aesthetically, Mir, I gotta take some time to just say that Kimberly's animations are out of control. Like, do you see the animation of her, like that wind pose, where she kind of like slides into the foreground of the screen? And I've never seen something like that. It looks so good. the animations.
Like a football player celebrating their goal, or I'm sorry, a soccer player.
Yes, soccer player.
No, yeah, absolutely. They definitely nailed their personality of this kind of like happy-go-lucky, like the way she's happy when she wins a round, just hopping all over the place and doing the splits and whatnot. It really cements this kind of personality that they designed for her. I think it's very good going so far.
Yeah, man, it's really showing the RE engine. And another thing too is like Street Fighter V uses motion capturing as well, but it just looks so much cleaner. Like you can really see it.
Right, there's definitely a lot of polish that went into animations. I'm sure that they did motion capture for this game as well, but
yeah, definitely.
Obviously, they had to polish everything to a higher degree to make it look convincing. And on top of that, obviously, some moves are not really realistic, if you will. So obviously, they need some touching up.
For sure, for sure. I hope they show some more behind-the-scenes footage too of the motion capturing, because it's hilarious on how they perform some of these moves. Okay, moving on, Mir. We talked about how Kimberly has spray paint can stocks, right? But how does she get these stocks? We actually didn't see that from the trailer either. So the move where she recaps a stock is called Genius at Play, and we can actually see she's scheming. It looks like she's like shaking a spray paint can and readying it up. And if you look at the animation mirror, she reloads really quickly, really fast.
Yeah. I like to think of this as the goblin stance. It's like, I'm gonna do something about this. But it seems quite quick. And on top of that, even if she gets interrupted in the animation, if she gets interrupted late, she will still have the can stock.
Oh, I didn't know.
So you still get the can before the animation's even over. So
I'm gonna assume the input for this mirror is like down punch.
It seems reasonable to assume that, yeah.
Okay, this really confused me, Mir. Kimberly does an air Tatsu, and I was like, wait a second, does Guy have an air Tatsu? I was like, what? It was really weird. She like kind of stays in place too in the air.
Right, that's peculiar because normally those kind of stationary air Tatsus are on the EX version or the OD version for this game. So, for example, Ryu has it in Street Fighter 6, and it's his OD air Tatsu. But for Kimberly, it's just the normal air Tatsu. So
what do you think
that's
it's used
peculiar. I guess you could use it to bait certain anti-airs, make them whiff. But I think it's mostly for combos. Like, for example, if she has a cancelable jumping medium punch, it could be something like jumping medium punch into air Tatsu in a juggle, for example. Or for air to airs.
More normal attacks are her standing medium kick. Man, what is with the standing medium kicks being cancelable in this game here? There's so many of them. It looks so strong.
Meanwhile, Ryu's isn't.
In before it is, and no one tested it.
Yeah, that's a possibility at this point. I wouldn't be surprised.
But I'm just saying, man, like no stubby normals and cancel standing medium kicks and dry rush. I don't know, man. I don't know if these characters all need it.
Yeah, I think you nailed it though. It's because of the drive rush that so many normals are cancelable, and I think it makes sense that they would give a character like Kimberly something like this just to try and get in, right? Use it for counter poking, for example, and buffer into drive rush.
We got a little preview of Kimberly's cross up too. I can't tell if it's a jumping leg kick or a medium kick though.
Yeah, she does it really late in the jumping animation, so I don't really know how much of the block stun really is showing, because then she goes for a low and Jury gets hit. So it's kind of difficult to tell. It seems quite fast. It seems like a jumping leg kick, but again, we cannot be sure.
Yeah. We got another preview of Kimberly's level 2 super, where it's kind of similar like Cammy, where she jumps up on the wall, at least we saw in the trailer, but it looks like she literally just jumps up wherever she is. And it looks like you can do this in the air, but I don't know, Mir, if you do the super on the ground, does she automatically jump, or do you have to always do this in the air? Can't tell from the footage. Based
on what we see a couple of jumps where Kimberly does the super, and it seems to be at different heights. So if I were to guess, it's just an airborne super. Like, you have to do it in the air. It's very difficult to tell just by looking at it. And to be honest, I don't know what they were discussing in the background, because I don't know Japanese. So maybe they've answered that. And if anyone that knows Japanese can tell us, then please do so.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a lot of fancy combos with Kimberly too, because since she can, do this in the air, she can have some air juggles, right? That lead straight into her super. She doesn't have to land on the ground. Right. So I think that's gonna look really flashy. Oh, I forgot to mention too, we got a preview of some alternate colors, and we see Kimberly. It's blue. It's amazing.
Very blue. It's exceptionally blue. Just like the normal one is exceptionally red. I think she really is going for bright colors.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they're just gonna copy all the colors that like Guy has. including like a costume for her, a guy costume sometime in the future. Another aesthetic thing too, Mir, I love her parry animation. It's absolutely amazing. It's really good. I like it a lot.
Well, again, it's a lot of her personality coming through, right? They really did a good job with that.
Yeah, I love it.
And we got to see her perfect parry animation back in the trailer as well. So if you guys want to have a good look at it, you can go and check out the trailer again.
And the final note, Mir, is apparently a new command normal. She does like this forward flip kick. It looks like an overhead. It's probably forward heavy kick, but she whiffs it. So I don't even know what it looks like when you hit with it.
Yeah, I saw it during the footage and I couldn't recognize it. It almost looks like one of the follow-ups from the run, which is a possibility, as in that it's basically only the version that you can do as a command normal. And
yeah, I mean, it would really help her pressure in mix-ups if she had it, especially with the shuriken bombs and all that with the teleports.
I mean, I'm sure that she probably doesn't need it, but in this game, everyone has so many tools that...
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be surprised if everyone got 2 overheads at some point.
And that wraps it up, Mir. That's all the cliff notes I wrote down. Like I said, not a crazy boatload of info, but we got TGS literally next week. And it was nice to see some gameplay of these characters in an actual match for the very first time. I think this will hold us out, you know. So let's wrap this up, Mir, guys. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think of Kimberly so far after seeing this new footage. And of course, we'll keep you guys tuned with a jury breakdown tomorrow and everything that is Street Fighter 6, guys. So thanks for watching and take care.
See you next time.